Okay, here we are. We're going to begin. This is the real UFO show. We're dialing it in. We were late last time. We're having a problem with the passcodes. We're getting it dialed in. Every Saturday and Sunday, Eastern, 7 p.m., we should be doing this UFO show. So let's begin. We're going to look at a slideshow of some of these images first. And these are all from the real UFO. So what we're going to do, explain each image. And while in the meantime, we're just gonna kind of dial in the show and get it better and better as we go. So, in no particular order, jumping right in, there's the bird, which is on board this alien craft, and there's a laser portion of it. And those are three dots that are on the other videos that are near the UFO. There's flames falling. That is the laser. This seems to be Pedrolia image, but nonetheless, this is two, but it still looks a little peculiar. So I'm just going to leave it like that. That looks a little like a face, perhaps. That's part of the UFO laser right there. So um, let's look here. This is a filtered image of the UFO. So I think what I could do is just start with one image at a time. This is the cross, which is a pretty peculiar image. It is, I believe, below the UFO near the laser. And if you'll see, sometimes under filter, these designs emerge out of the cross. So kind of nice there. This is the alien under filter standing. This would be his head. And he's holding the tablet of destinies, I call it. Below here is the bird. And he's in like this doorway, isn't he? It's kind of electrical. When you zoom in and you look at it, it kind of looks like electrical waves or so. A lot better image when we send this over and we get it dialed in. Here's the alien. You can see the black dot right there. That'd be his eye right there. So that means this white part in the center, that's all his nose, that triangle. So this would be his chin. And you can see the corner of the tablet showing as maybe a shadow, or it is it itself. You can see his shoulder. So he's in this kind of doorway. And you zoom in and you can see better. You can see the eye, the nose. You can see the upper and lower lip right there, 1 and 2. That's how clear it is. From about 1,500, maybe 1,600 feet up. The bottom of the craft would be 1,500 feet. It's about a 200-foot tall craft. And you can clearly see the alien in form of pointillism. Nonetheless, he is there under filter. There's the laser as the laser fires down. Might look a little too bright, but that's your laser for you. And yeah, it's a pretty bright laser. But it will show up better as the pictures are handed over on file. Here is the alien again. So you're quite literally able to see the features again. You can even see the ear. Here would be his right side of his face, eye, nose, nostril underneath, and that, I guess, like the hair, top of the head. You can totally see that there's an alien there. And in the doorway, it seems to be like flames falling. You can kind of see flame work, like it's paper, like it's dissolving from flame. Look at that. It's all up and over around. It's falling like ash, and he's sitting there calm as can be. And looking right here, this is the point of his eye. That would be the dead center pupil. Okay. And so all this dark part is like the eye. Call it what you want, the pupil, and this is the glint in the eye or whatever you. You can see the upper lip of the lower lip. You can see the nostril right here. And this is the triangle nose. That's the alien. Okay, so we back up from the alien. And yeah, you just notice like it's like flames or something with this flying up and out. He's red only because of the filtering, but you know, he can be blue or green or anything. So here you see right down to like pieces of ash, you know, the size of, you know, a playing card or something. These are really small bits showing up from 1,500 feet away. So here's the UFO again. There's the laser dropping down. So I don't know. There's like this extra red area right here to the UFO where the rest is green, and that will show up on all the UFO pics of this type of editing, because that seems to be consistent throughout. So it's something, because it's a little bit more up here too. There's a little bit of red. Well, this kind of, it almost looks to be out of place, because I mean, like the green is coming down, then it cuts away immediately, and then it restarts again. And there's some kind of blocky here, and it looks kind of iridescent and kind of like it's in the background in some other of the photos. It looks kind of strange. So under zooming, you see these little dots. I mean, these are not giant, but yet it's going to get picked up by the filtering and the zooming process. So even as laser begins, there's intense laser colors right here before it fades to more of nothing, and pretty much breaks up. And you can see the laser fracturing and then reassembling, and then fracturing again and reassembling, finally being done with it. And right down to the point of nothing. So it's, you can see the, I guess, the ash falling. It's like it doesn't have much detail, but is right down to seeing a laser and flying around there on a UFO. Here's the cross again, under filter. It looks a lot better in person. This is really kind of blurry, and the color is really a faded blue. I have a real rich dark blue and striking reds, so it looks really nice. It looks like it has depth, like it's a three-dimensional cross in its environment. But this looks like a flat image perhaps on the screen. But we'll dial this in a little more, stick this up on the internet looking prettier. But all of this seems to be uniform, and the measurements are all consistent when they need to be. So here's the laser dropping down again, another filtering of it, and you can see it's quite active. There's a lot of I guess flame and ash flying off it. This is not a pull from a mercury light, you know. This is serious stuff. This laser is 8 feet wide, expanding to over 30, and it is from a UFO that is beyond Pluto, I would say safely. So here's the UFO again. Got a little tilt. This UFO here has pretty much a filter where this is the diamond of the UFO, and this will be the laser dropping down and the flame falling into the laser right about here. So this is all maybe 200 feet big. So the whole thing is like 250 feet big. And this nose fuselage goes out another 50 feet more. Right here would be the alien standing basically in this area at about, I'd say 10 to 13 feet. I'd put around 13 feet right around here. And the bird, I'd put it like 3. So this is like 1,500 feet up right here. Here's about 1,600. Here's about 1,700 feet off the ground. This UFO is real, and it's way up there like that. So this is a flame falling into the top of the laser. And so you can like zoom in here, and you can see there's actual like lava bits within this flame, which who knows? I think it'd be burning titanium or burning magnesium or so. I'm sure people could tell if they looked really good at this using their computers. You see these little weird designs pop out here and all about the flame. It's about the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. This is, I don't know, 6 feet by 10 feet big. And this is under filter. Looks pretty nice without, using this cell phone to transfer the image. But these new images will look a lot better when we get there. So that's probably a close-up, more or less, of that very flame. Some little weird little design creatures, emerge and this. But nonetheless, these are artifacts of a flame from a UFO. So here's the alien standing. We can all kind of see. You can see his eyes, his nose. You can see his mouth. See his head. He's holding the tablet here. You see this rectangular tablet called Tablet of Destinies. It's about 2 foot by about 4 foot. As he stands here, his left shoulder and the tablet held chest high and prominently, just like it said in the Sumerian text. So he's in that doorway. You can kind of see it's a little bit of an illuminated doorway. May look a little bright here, but I guarantee you once this gets dialed in a little better, you'll be able to see these images just the way they are on close up on say a phone screen, where there's no blurriness, there's no terrible photo and video. I can see the eagle eye. I can see the alien's eye. Here you can see the nose. You can see the mouth. You can see the right eye of his. You can see the left eye of his. You see the head up like that. The chin. His right shoulder, his left shoulder. Right? The tablet right here. So you can totally see the alien right there as you start to break down the image. So here's the alien again. And of course, you can see the eye here. And this is the triangle. The white part is the nose. You have his mouth seems to be open. Upper lip, lower lip. Mouth seems to be a little bit open, agape. There is the right ear, upper ear and the lower ear. The head. The whole body there goes down to the bird standing there. So this is the alien. And this is a filter of the UFO from around 2015. So there's the alien. He stands in his doorway. And right here, this is the tablet, I believe. So I call this the anomaly. But I didn't really get the alien until 2017, around November, when I decided to zoom in on some of these kind of images like this, these small ones. And that's when the bird would emerge in this and that. So you see the bird down here, it would be there. It doesn't look like the alien yet. But the whole UFO would be here, this diamond. And this little dot would be that alien. So you zoom in, and you add filters, and you zoom in again, you add filters, screenshot, zoom in. You get close enough, you can see the alien looking straight at you. And he would be up there on that craft. He wouldn't be on a street light, and he'd be looking at you. So this is probably the flame falling, and that falls into the laser down here more. So, yeah, zooming in, alien is there. So then, here's the alien standing in his doorway again. You can even blow this image up, and you can perfectly see the bird is here. You can see his beak, his bill. Here's the tablet again, and the whole top of the alien sitting there, shadow around him, but he's in this illuminated doorway. It's real. Real artifacts, real alien. So here's the alien again when it was his head, and here he held the tablet, and here was his feet, and right here would have been the bird. But there seems to be some kind of image right here. Maybe it's a Pedrolia image, but if this looks familiar as a kind of character that you've seen, maybe SW would be a help. Looks a little like something like that. This here, alien, and this kind of like a vintage kind of, I guess, a filter. You can see that the alien's head here, let's see, the corner, that would have to be the tablet, his left shoulder. And you zoom in, and he's got like these two squares right here, like he's a captain or something. And it's right there, and it's there in many photos. I like to call it like his kind of like his stars and bars or something. And so under filter, you can even see the alien's upper lip and the lower lip. And then this triangle makes the nose. And the eye would be in there. So it's just kind of a, well, a funky sort of a edit with filtering of hue, vintage, Norway, X-ray, cartoon, everything you can think of and anything they have. So advancing forward, this would be on the left side of the alien. It's part of that draping doorway. Goes down, tapers and nothing. I don't know. It looks kind of electrical, like kind of electrically charged or something here. It's kind of a unique pattern. Then other forms of it, other colors, and believe me, there's about a million details in here. It looks maybe blurry, but it's better than nothing at the moment. So here's the bird, and you zoom in, and you can see the bird even clearer. You can zoom in even more, and there's like the bird with the beak. His nostril would be like about here, and there's his eye. So head rounds and stops. He has a crop right here where he stores his fish and worms or whatever. Flies around his UFO. And you can see these are the flight feathers draping straight down, kind of all behaving. Pretty much like a flight feather. So I think it's real. So that is the bird that is below the alien at the alien's right. As you can see, it's curving because that's part of that curving kind of oval doorway. So you know he's there. There's all hails from the video. So there's the bird down there. You can see his head and his feet, and he sits right there as you zoom in. You can see him. You zoom in more. And you zoom in a little more, and oh, you know, you don't see him too well because of how we're doing this through the phone. But these are ideas of what to catch. So let's skip ahead to some good images that show. Because I mean, there's more of the aliens standing there. And we can skip to some new images. You can start to see the bird here a little in this one. So the image isn't so bright or something. You can see with the, and here would be his nose, here would be his eyes, here would be his right ear. So you can see the alien's head. So as he stands there, the bird is legit. Right down here. So the bird stands off from video, and there's the bird again. You can take a screenshot, zoom in further, and you get more of the bird. The bird in action. So this is the laser dropping down, and you can kind of see it jogs over. It's kind of like kind of blue or iridescent blue. You should see when a camera isn't shooting at the phone with a transferred image, it'll look a lot better. These are just 3 dots, but they're equally spaced. It's pretty interesting to have that. And these are basically pieces of ash that are falling all around UFO. UFO is shedding ash bits all over. So when you zoom in, these are the configuration of ashes in one place, but it just seems that they're kind of equally spaced, almost 100%, let's say. This is a perfect triangle to me. So it's pretty weird, but I have other images of this on the previous videos where we zoom in and they kind of look like blue donuts of some kind, and they're all uniform there. So this is the flame falling right here would be the main flame that I usually show. This is the size of the Volkswagen Beetle bug. So more flame here, and this is kind of like a freeze frame, like a freeze motion. Yeah, so this will be the UFO right here, and this will be the nose assembly, and it goes off in like 50 feet. So it seems to be maybe a fuel source where the fuel falls as a flame, and it like ignites right here. It becomes a flame that falls into the laser. So a little tough to see some of these flames because of our phone work like this. However, there's the laser again. So you can see the laser is down and then it jogs over and it takes another path down. So you can see the laser changing path. The laser is so big you can see it changing path on a phone 1,500 feet away. It's a smartphone from Verizon, like an Android Optimus, 2014. So it's not a $1 billion phone, yeah, but so it's still got the image. There's kind of a Pedrolia image. We'll get into this later, but this is taken as a piece of the UFO and then just zoomed in and added with filters. But it makes kind of a weird image. We'll get to more of those. There's another image that was available. I think it's a Pedrolia image, but it is kind of amusing nonetheless. If you could see the image in total, these would almost look like eyes, and this is the head. But same here. This is probably another Pedrolia image I snapped. This was like on board the UFO somewhere, just scouting around and seeing something and focused in. You wonder if this might be somebody watching you. It ain't really, well, it ain't like a Star Trek character, but tell me if you can't see like a nose here with the two nostrils, and then you see the upper lip and the lower lip. And if you see his left eye, here be his right eye, here be his left cheek and his jaw. And tell me that doesn't look like anything, because when the picture is clear here, it looks a lot clearer and a lot kind of realistic looking, more than so what it is now when this camera aims. That is within the laser. It's like a Z, kind of like a lightning volt kind of zigzag. It's tough to see again because of the filtering, but you can kind of see it there. The laser, it's so clear a laser shot that you're going to see that change its course a little. That might be part of the refraction where it's changing direction while it's moving. So here's the laser again, and you can literally see the laser is fractured and broken apart. So you can literally see the laser hanging on by a thread 1,500 feet away. So when they say it's a dot, or your video is a blurry dot, or it's, everything they can name, remember, there's a thread holding the laser together. Any scientist can see this. So it is a clear shot. You can see the disassembly of some of the laser and separating, and you can literally see lines like it's falling away from it. It's kind of drastic, but that is a laser from beyond Pluto, and that is how it behaves. It seems to be kind of sheathed, like this is the outside coating and this is inside core inside it. Okay, so it's tough to see what these pictures, but my phone shows a little clearer. You can kind of see how the sheath kind of stops and the laser's like revealed in here. More sheathing bits. True laser, true image. So here's the UFO. And I don't really think turning down the color well, but we'll see. Maybe dimming the color down, taking the shine off it will spare us all this brightness for the moment. But the striking image, really bright, is pretty nice to witness for the UFO. Looks like flames. This is the UFO. The alien would be standing here. The bird would be here. Here would be the flame falling into this laser and carrying down. So 8 feet wide, and it expands to over 30. And under filtering, it looks kind of a little more trim, but it's filtering. So little bits showering around the place. We'll see if this helps. So this is a filter of the UFO. This flew over a building. This is a mercury light. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. So it appears like the ash falling down hit the corner of the building, and part of it went right here, and part of it went right here. So it's like it fell, it hit the corner, and it diverted in a splash over this way and down this way. And there's a little particle here. So you kind of see this streaking on an angle, like it hit here and it continues its angle off. I was standing right down here, so it's pretty much raining on top of me, this ash from this UFO. So here's the mercury light. So this is a vertical, straight up and down outside corner of the building. So this is a true orientation as you stand facing pretty much, this will be northeast right here, and this is heading off to the east, and here would be the north up that way, and the west is over here. So I'm standing there filming as it went over, and I was putting this in frame, so as it passed over, I knew this was in the shot, because it wasn't showing up on the face of the phone, so I didn't know how to capture it, how to index it on the phone for video. So you can see the flame falling right here. Well, this isn't a flame so much as a piece of ash. The true flame is, I'm going to associate it up by the laser at the time of this. But you can see this is about the size of a football. That's how big it is. It's about the size of a football, about 10 feet off the ground. And there's the corner of the building. And then this is like, this is generally the roof, where it starts at the corner, the lowest point, and it goes upward on a gentle slope out into the darkness. So that would leave you to have this mercury light on the side of the building, as this kind of, goes and cuts over how it does. So there's a mercury light about, at the time, about the size of a beach ball. This little bright dot was the size of a beach ball, and it's just shining out a spire of light is all. So this is how it's oriented on the night. And then you look, here's like this ash. So you see it's not in line with the roof. The roof is continuing in a straight line architecturally, just as this is in a straight line. So you have some diversion here, but that's ash, lo and behold. And so it's tough to kind of conceptualize. So here's another example of it. The UFO, the building, the top, and the down corner, mercury light. And here are the two ashes. So you zoom in, and it's falling and raining and staying on the ground. So here the UFO is so bright under filter that just like what does it look like? A flash cube or something on a camera. It's very bright. The nose, here's the lasers. You can see kind of like twist marks to it or so. But we're going to look at some clearer images as we go, and some reports, and understand what's happening. Here's the laser. You can see these little designs all through the laser under filtering. where the details enough that you can see things that are literally as small as, I would say, like a deck of playing cards or something. All these are very, very tiny at 1,500 feet away. You're able to see all these. So when I called the cops, I summoned the police 40 minutes later, and they showed, and there was the UFO overhead as we saw it go straight up into outer space and then gone, just disappeared, gone like that. So I stood here. The officer with his car stood here, and there was another officer car right behind him, shining his light on us as I pointed up into the sky and said, I was filming a UFO up in this area, and I said, look. And then we saw a jet, and I go, wait, that's a jet. And I go, wait, look, over there, look. We watch this thing. I go, you see it? He goes, I see it. And we watch it go straight in outer space and disappear. We said, whoa, it was another UFO. So that's a true story. Then there's the UFO under filter, as pretty good splash of light. This is from probably, I'd say, 2015 to 2016 at the latest. So this is not a pull from a street light. This is a laser from a UFO, we're going to say, until further notice. So here's a laser again. You can see the laser kind of jig-jogging, dropping over, breaking off, restarting, having all these weird colors and articulations and textures and designs. But that's what happens when the UFO is there. It looks kind of real. I wonder under VR how the video would look, but it would probably look pretty well. You can see this waviness to the laser. The laser does a little waviness before it jets out again. It's like there's a hole burned in the laser. You can peer in and see inside this activity. This laser is active from a UFO, so it changes color. I don't know, like what is there, a piece of plasma caught up in this? It's all like whipping around plasma like fire, and you can see this. Remember, it's a lot clearer when we get the file thrown over. So here's that building from a different angle. This will be like 2015, around December. So maybe a year and a half after the UFO, I went back to get GPS readings of the area. Took a photo of the building again, the mercury light up there. And so when I took a look at that photo, I didn't really believe it looked like the UFO. And I had to stare at it a while. I don't know, must took several months before I brought the photo up again and looked at it real closely in the comparison, and I started to go, it isn't gonna match up, but I'll go ahead and look. And lo and behold, it did. A lot of it matched up. Inside corner, 90-degree angle, up over and down, up over and around. Yeah, but this has a building, and the UFO was flying. UFOs getting checked out at Pentagon. We didn't bring in the mercury light. People call it a street light, but a mercury light is a fair assessment to say it looks like it, but it's not, because this is using a building. This is all building. It even goes on the other side. It even stops. The building ends, and the blackest space starts. Well, the UFO is in the blackest space, so it's using no tan building, yet it can make this shape and image. Practically speaking, this is a replaced beach ball sized mercury light of 2014. This is now 2015. This is now a security light that's like the size of a loaf of bread, like a bread box, rectangular little bread box, but it still tosses off this glow no matter what. So I imagine any light on any steel building, you'll get the image. So here are the chatters of light as it skims over the top of the machined grooves for rigidity on the corrugated steel siding built by the General. This is barbed wire, and here's the thick knotty part, and then the thick knotty part, and then the thick knotty part. This is a barbed wire. So you can kind of see this is maybe 17 feet up and maybe 10 feet away. And in other images, we'll see, I think, the sign right here to enter for the door. I think it will say enter. Just discovered that last week in the videos. I really didn't notice that, but that would help to establish what kind of building we have when MUFON largely says it's a house, but they don't care. It's just naming stuff. So you zoom in, and all the lines are perfectly spaced all the way right up. So, but the UFO, this is not uniform. There's many differences, many between a security light and a UFO. I could almost teach a college course on it because a lot of people are pretty sure this is a street light, but there's no street around. You can't even see the street. And even in the video, you can't see the street. You just see the UFO in the black of space. It's misnomer time. I could teach a course. This right here is the bird, the head, the beak, the body, the wing. It's like disco bird. And you can see the bird plain and clear. So it's not two eyes like a cartoon. This is one solid eye, and the line going straight down, that'd be like the center of his eye, the pupil. It's just a little bit kind of electric looking because of the well, I guess the filtering and the edits. So here's a portrait of the alien. It's a good portrait. His right eye, nostril, upper lip, lower lip. Portrait of the alien. Here's the alien standing. The head, his left shoulder, his feet would be down here. Here's the doorway kind of thing. Looks kind of weird, as like he's a part of the doorway, like he's connected to the door. He's a part of the ship. He is the ship, and the ship is him. Like he could have flames falling around him, and he could have flames falling off his hair, it would seem, or something. It just, I don't know, it doesn't make all the sense in the world how they operate, but that's how they kind of go, and that's how they choose to roll. That's the UFO for me. So skipping ahead, you see the alien again. Here would be his tablet he's holding, and here would be the bird. And here's the overarching overhang there that he's in, which is kind of peculiar that he should be selected out of this image because of filtering and not anything else. Like the bird is really selected, everything else is kind of in the background. Like the bird is really defined. So the more you edit, the more the bird gets stronger looking with more detail. Yeah, zooming in, he's got like, it's kind of tough to see. This is edits, but it looks like, you know, like little computer parts. I mean, this is an example of, like, you can see like the beak is like dropping down bits, like disintegrating like flame fire or something. It's peculiar how they operate and run this one. There's the cross, literally the center of the cross. So you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can see that there's going to be 16 of these little outcroppings here. There's not 5 and 3 or 0 and 0 and 1 and nothing. They put 4. There's 4. This is, you know, across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. These are all like uniform measurements. There's a cross somehow there. You can see way into the background. That's true light right there. That looks a lot prettier right there than on my phone. So you go ahead and look. See, these red ones are indications by me of edits to show what I'm trying to indicate, that these rounded things correspond. So just an intelligent design kind of sacred geometry thing. Here's the alien again in his doorway. So you blow up the image more, and there you see the dot is that perfect green circle surrounded in black. So the perfect green circle right there is the center of his eye. That's the glint in his eye right there, that green dot, and that whole black thing might as well be like the pupil. Here's the triangle nose, and you zoom in and you can see it's a triangle. Three-sided triangle. And it's right dead center where the face should be. So here's the upper lip and the lower lip. And that's how close the alien is. And more filters will reveal the alien with greater detail. So that would be nice. So you go up here, and these details are striking and close up, but away like this, yeah, I can see the problem with having the distinction down. But this is that UFO. We'll look at it again later. Here's again the cross. Every time you go to see what you gotta see, you'll see that it is there. This one's a bright red one, but it may be showing up as orange. So when you zoom in on the UFO's cross, there's these little, I guess these little shapes that emerge. You'll see these shapes. Some of these shapes here. Some of these shapes here. These are all in the cross, you know, looking kind of weird, you know. Another shape here. Looking kind of strange, these kind of shapes of the UFO's cross. You see these little shapes here, but this is all pretty much a uniform cross, all the way down to some kind of perfect geometry where that's what you get when you're dealing with the alien. They're going to have some strange material, and when that is falling off of their ship, it'll be even stranger if you get it on video. The cross. And here's some other ones, you know. Striking blue one. And here's a few more of the cross. So the flame again seems to have, I would say, more accents in them. Like these flames bits here seem to be, you know, they seem to be something of an accent to the whole flame, like they're superheated. So we'll have to take a look at that. Is the cross under some kind of filter from way back when? Just, yeah, just kind of circling around. It's kind of like art that's made and that you don't have to really pencil in and make. So it's like these are like ideas of designs you could have for your border and your trim and background in case you can't think of something. I would do this. I would take these and, well, it's my copyright. I would make my stuff. Some others might. And these are designs kind of like a flame of the UFO's flames, but it's now on the cross, it seems. Kind of a peculiar image right there. Let's skip ahead a couple of crosses. This will be the tablet. So it's 2 foot by 4 foot. So he's holding this tablet. It's well defined. It kind of has borders and edges to where it ends. And so it's sticking out like the bird or the alien. So you zoom in. This is the corner. Obviously, you see its corners cutting here. You can see like these hieroglyphs or designs. They had cuneiform writing, which were tablets. So it's pretty unique that they should have tablets from Sumeria with the Anunnaki using these tablets. Again, it's their calling card. So if you can understand, well, they probably wrote left to right and in columns or however, but you can kind of see this almost looks to be kind of sectioned out a little bit. So maybe this is some kind of electronic cuneiform writing. They have advanced it, you know. You look at some of these, I mean, we've seen some of these with the chip makers. You can see that maybe a SIM card chip. It's kind of strange. I'd expect that. UFO. Here'd be the flame falling into the laser, and this would be another filter of the UFO. So you zoom in and you can see the laser seems to be in some kind of flame, you know, like flame shooting out in all directions. This laser blasting like it's like a flamethrower blasting out of the UFO. Many colors on this UFO. There's probably every color in the rainbow here. So it looks kind of nice. You can kind of see the nose, the chatter of the nose, well defined. And but it breaks up. It's not uniform. It's not corrugated steel siding. It's a UFO up in space. Here's the Golden Cross. We'll deal with that now and then. The Golden Cross is there. So this would be the Mercury light as the phone is panned downward. The Mercury light is here and the UFO is here. So here is the UFO, and you can see the laser trailing. And here's the chatter of the nose assembly. And so here's the UFO. So a little bit different than, let's say, your Mercury light. They call it a street light, but they also call it a street lamp. They don't know. Right here is a debris. I call it ash. Falling. You can see a little ash here, a little ash there. So here is unfiltered. This is paused video of the actual UFO and just zoomed in. Zoomed in so the image is brought closer, but that'd be the Mercury light. And there is the UFO and the trailing laser beam. UFO and Mercury light. So when I put these under filter again, I brought them out as colorful as possible. So these are the way that the lights would appear in reality. They'd appear like a white light of a Mercury light and a white light of the UFO and a brown laser beam, beige laser beam trailing down. About the only two colors you got when you could see the UFO were white and beige. But it was so bright, it was like a welding spark. You literally had to stare around it, because if you stared at it, it would just all get bright and your whole vision would blur out. You had to like stare away from it. It was very bright. It's a defense mechanism. It has people staring away from it so they can't identify anything but what they stared at. And it's usually going to be something back at eye level or the ground. And there goes their story. This is a MUFON's chief investigator called Doug Wilson. We'll call him Douglas Wilson. He sends his regards. These are screenshots that I sent him. And then he compared them side by side because that's his line. And he made a whole report on screenshots. But when you give him the video, he won't look at it. And he'll call meaningless. He'll say right here, he'll say meaningless. He'll say manipulating the original. He'll say manipulating the original images seem to me meaningless. But it seems meaningless that he doesn't look at the video, and he doesn't notice that. It's because there's a psychopathy over there. So here's Doug Wilson, 2020. This is August 24th. He says, Mr. Brown, he goes, you asked for my professional opinion in regards to your materials. I have looked at your video and photos and have concluded, in my opinion, that the UFO and the Mercury light are in fact one and the same. So I'll stop right there. How does he know that the UFO and the Mercury light are the same? How does he know that? So he's going to go on those photographs, is what he's doing. He's going on the photographs where the UFO and the building's mercury light are going to have the same look. But that's a photo he's using. If he looked at honest to God video, you're not going to see a similarity between a mercury light and a UFO, especially when I pan down and it looks like that. That's not the same. A fourth grader could find that there's differences. But see, they have an agenda when they get out of college for MUFON. When you look at the video, the UFO and the mercury light are barely in the same frame ever for maybe a second. And even so, that's when it's that partial shot of the UFO splitting the ash on the building. That is not enough to say that they're the same images, but that's a scam that they'll say that they're the same, but they are looking at the photos to call them the same. But where's the video? Where's the date on the video? Well, they don't have any because they run a scam. So it continues to say the same light seems to have been photographed twice at different angles. So he's probably talking about the mercury light in 2015 was a different angle than the mercury light in the video, where I was standing in different locations because it's barbed wired off. Times change. MUFON, they'll have to explain it or they don't have to because they ran a scam report. It says, I have attached 2 images that I believe prove my point. Well, see, here you go. When they want to prove their point fresh out of college and it's this bad, that's where they have pride take over for the whole dang thing. And that's when things go south and they run the scam and people complain. This is a bad report. I don't know why they turned this in with pride, but if anybody checked it, it's a shameful report. They should be thrown out in the report too. If this case were reported to me, I would conclude that it is a hoax. Well, see right there, I'm reading this for the first time. I don't read this garbage. Here it is. If this case were reported to me, well, it was reported to you, you madman. If this case were reported to me, I would, well, you don't do your job. That's it. I would conclude that this is a hoax. Well, you conclude I'm the hoaxer then. I suppose you're the genius out of college. I could teach a course on a difference between a street light and a street lamp. I would give that a try. And I'd include the UFO as a backer to it all. All the other images that were produced by manipulating the original images seems to me meaningless. Listen, mister, there are no original images. There is one original video, and you need to get to work on it, but you don't. You just go off on all these other images. Mister, you're a scammer. So here it goes. I basically said message received and understood. Yet are you altogether confident in your report to me? I'm checking to see if he has any cobwebs upstairs, and he does. He comes back and says, as confident as I can be, given the quality of data I had to work with. You almost got to play a violin for this poor thing. Look at this. As confident as I can be, given the quality of data. Well, you're given a UFO that you can see an eagle eye, that the CIA can see refraction, that the CIA can tell it's 1,500 feet up, that the CIA can see that it's acting like a whirlpool, that the CIA can see this, that, and the other. 30 feet expanding. This whole laser starts out at 8 feet wide as it leaves the craft. And what do these chair warmers at MUFON do? Tell me I've got a hoax. They should have their whole head washed out with soap. So this report, let's see, 420, check. MUFON video analysis. Ooh, that's important. So here's his scam report. Again, we show these lines that mean nothing. If I could say this space is bigger than this space. So he's just put in like some weird lines that mean nothing, and he hopes they mean nothing. He ended this arrow way out on a weird side of this light beam from the mercury light. He just pointed right to the end. Maybe there's a bug crawling he looks at or something. He goes over here and he stops short of the laser a little bit of the UFO. You're supposed to draw some correlation in. You're not supposed to look that, well, there's a whole tan building right here, and here there's no whole tan building. You're just supposed to pretend that there's a building right here that's under it. That's the hoax. Mike Brown, help. Mike Brown's hoaxing us. Help us. We're at MUFON. We're volunteers and we're flooded. Yeah, but they're also running a scam. They're generally running a nice size scam. So it says the lines on the right correspond to the lines on the left. They sure do. They correspond to nothing. It seems obvious that the UFO on the left is the same as the light on the right. Well, it seems obvious, but this is somebody probably still, he's got his head in college and maybe wrapped around his bong too tight. The two images were taken at different angles and either at different settings, or the one on the right was filtered, but the two images are the same. Saying that this is filtered and that these are different angles. Well, this is from a video in 2014 at the true angle, where I was standing more or less over here off of off of this picture frame. But I walked around to 2015 and I couldn't get any closer than right here. So yeah, it's a different angle. Congratulations, Mr. College. How did you know it's a different angle, but you don't know that there's no building behind this UFO? How? Answer, scam. I don't care if you think it's filtered. I think you ran a scam. So here is a report from 2015. This is a MUFON report by Dan Snow. I put the International Space Station right there, you see, because they call it the space station. Well, here's the UFO, but they're going to call a jet a space station. So see, here's number 2, which means this is where the video ended. And then here's number 1, which means this is where the video started. And they've seen the jet here going down an angle, but they're calling it the space station. So they got this whole flat earth kind of scam where they say, oh, you're looking due north, and here is the space station tracking to the east and disappearing over the horizon to the east, going from basically, I don't know, the west to the east, right? Just kind of tracking through. They run a scam and they're like, oh, it takes 6 minutes to travel across, the sky. And they'll call it the stellarium, I don't know, flashing iridium satellite, the brand new launched one in that day in 2014. That's what you're looking at. MUFON says, we'll get it. We'll help you. We'll tackle the issue. We'll look at this. Oh, it's a jet, or oh, it's a satellite. Here's your street lamp, Mr. Brown. You got a street lamp. So they make this whole grid, so that oh, we're showing up here at A2 or AB or F1 or F2 or whatever. It's a scam. Scam by Mighty MUFON. So, but yet they have August 6th, correct. They have it at 21:03. That would be 10:03. Oh, wait. No, 21 is 9:03. Okay, well, they have 9:03. 22 is 10 p.m. Well, I have it at 10:03, actually. So I don't know how they got it at 9:03. You want to keep that in mind. They've got it at 9:03. So how did their computer come up with 9:03? I don't know. But I know I'll show it that it's at 23:03 as well. Right? So is it at 11:03? That's on the other videos. But I think the actual time is 10:03. It's also shown by MUFON at 4:03 in the morning on their UFO stalker report. The UFO stalker report at MUFON, a scam. So we scan ahead, and of course they're saying it was first seen at 1. This is my video from YouTube, embedded. So skipping through the MUFON goo, the trap they have set. 2015 deposition report from Daniel Snow at MUFON. So they put a whole computer on it. Okay, but that didn't help. So I took a picture of the UFO's area. This would be the Mercury light. Then I took the video of the UFO and a screenshot and I superimposed it. Now we got two pictures. Then I took a third where I took the ash and I took a photo and I superimposed. Now we have three. Then there's four because I did the UFO under filter. And then five, another UFO under filter. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 5 pictures all in one. This shows that the UFO would have been over the building, dropping flame with the Mercury light here. Looking similar, but it is not. So the true orientation of, like, say, the Mercury light laser is like at 7 p.m. But the true orientation of the true laser on the UFO is about 5 p.m. And this would be Pacific time, I'd say, or p.m. Then you go Michigan UFO. And this is a whole YouTube video, like 23 seconds, but it's, you go type in Michigan UFO and you won't find it necessarily. It might be 500 deep. So why did YouTube bury it? Because it's real. So you can see there's a difference between the UFO and the Mercury light. Blurred under filter. Has 1,000 1,100 views. So like 1,000 views in 5 years for this one. But it's been a long time and it's really not changed because people don't want to see a street light. But if it's told it's the street light from these scammers and you know who they are, that's when you end up with people crying their scams and hoaxes and everybody running in all directions and looking to the Pentagon and not liking that and screaming some more. So if you look at the UFO under filter from MUFON, MUFON did this job. They filtered it. So I cut the picture out and I pasted it over on that stupid grid 2015 made at MUFON. So this dot right here is actually the jet. So the jet would be traveling upward and outward out of town. And below it, you can see right here, this is the actual UFO. Right here is this actual laser. So I superimpose the image. So here's how you would see those if they really showed up in reality. But MUFON says this is a satellite. They just take advantage. They said it's downward traveling. So they just change things. And if you correct them on it, they're so prideful, I don't think they would even register that there's a person speaking to them or talking to them. And then here is the UFO under their crazy filter, which looks like nothing but a scam. There's more of their scam. So I said, all right, it's a jet. So I took a jet, superimposed it, and started flying it up the hill. So it's flying up and out and up to, 60,000 feet or so. So MUFON doesn't care. They like to call it all a hoax, but they're running a scam. So the UFO was going this way. See, this is the UFO. The security light was below, and the jet was traveling outward and away. That's how the picture is. But MUFON will destroy it, and they'll make it mangled, and they're quite hateful. So it says right here, it says the visual characteristics, flight path, inclination, travel speed, and object size do not violate the premise. This event was stimulated by the ISS, the International Space Station. But the account, that's mine, that's Mike Brown, the account seems to be embellished. Well, yeah, embellished or made up, right, boy? Then it says, and video proof was untruthful, as no object, that's because you're looking at a Mercury light, he's obsessed, but it's a UFO, but he thinks he's looking at a Mercury light. To him, he's Mercury Light City all the way. No object or pursuit aircraft is visible on video. See, he says there should be a pursuit aircraft as a scam. As a scam, he says, I'm witnessing a pursuit aircraft. Let's call it an F-16 fighting Falcon. And this F-16 is hauling right after the UFO because all is cool with MUFON, the scammers. There is no pursuit craft. I gave a report saying I gave up pursuit of any more video because I didn't think it was recording. So you can't give up pursuit of video when MUFON's there because they'll get you and say, pursuit aircraft. And they'll embellish and they'll go and run the scam. And then they'll look to cry. See, these are scammers. This is a bogus report. Let's read more of this garbage real fast. The witness, that would be me, event time provided was 7 minutes after sunset, which does not match video timing of well after sunset. Well, let's just say he's probably saying it's 9:03 and there's no sunset probably till 9:30. But I have a video at 10:03 and he's saying the video timing is well after sunset. Well, that would probably be 10:03. Well, how come you know it's 10:03 but you're putting what? 9:03? They're running a scam, but nobody's going to check. It's all in small print. Witness provided snapshots with analysis JPEGs along with case 63339er, but all are of the street lamp in the lower right corner of video. Yeah, well, look at the video. They're all about snapshots, screenshots, screen saves, photographs, pictures, the Polaroids. These are con men when we have real smartphone technology to go through. These are cons, modern day con men. So he calls it hoax and then keystroke. So he figured it all out. This is a scammer, Daniel J. Snow, and you can believe that, the Snow part. MUFON Chief Field Investigator number 16776. Okay, well, that's a con. So his conclusion is using Occam's rule that the simplest of two or more competing theories is preferable, and that an explanation for unknown phenomena should first be attempted in terms of what is already known. Entities must not be multiplied beyond necessity. So basically, it's the whole embellishment thing has gotten up their craw at MUFON. But as you can see, they are the ones that have put me to Occam's razor, and they have run this scam report, and they all look like they're Aesop's fables, but they're con men. So they called it natural phenomenon or man-made objects. So they said the following is a review of the simplest possibilities that could be the stimulus for this event. They say satellite ISS. This is a common occurrence happening when skies are clear and light pollution levels are low. The best opportunity for viewing satellites is during the hours after sunset, when the sunlight reflects off the surface or solar panels. Okay, they are numerous and travel in many different trajectory paths. Use of the Stellarium software tool is very useful to help verify what is being viewed for planets, stars, and satellites. The ISS in particular is the source of many sightings, as it is much brighter than Venus, crosses the entire viewing sector in 4 to 7 minutes, and is a constant light source with no blinking lights, and passes by in different trajectories every hour and a half. Also, a new type satellite has been launched exhibiting a bright blinking LED, a light emitting diode light, i.e., it is the, I'd say it's the FITSAT, the FitSat 1, flashing satellite. Initial witness description fits an ISS flyover observation. I'm not trying to show them the jet, which they're just going to call an ISS observation. These college people are wrong. They do not need to go back to school. This is obviously a scam. They need to sit right there, and we need to find out why they're scamming. So, this is 63329 at MUFON. Opinion summary. Dear Mr. Brown, here is my case opinion summary. Hoax keystroke. Daniel Snow, scammer. So basically, here is more of the MUFON report, and we can go back over it if we need to. But it's all a bunch of bloviating, filibustering, gibberish and blabber from MUFON that you can honestly to God say, I think this is the only sentence they have on the UFO is they go, it's a street lamp in the lower right hand corner. So you see, this is what the report should focus on. I don't care if they think it's a street lamp. These people are rude. When you send in a video, it's not their job to go, oh my God, you just filmed a carport out over the Gulf of Mexico. This is a fake light. No, it's their job to go, well, you're saying it's a UFO. Let's look at it. These are scammers. The minute you give them a UFO, they call it a street lamp by eye, and then begin to look at the jet with their precious video surveillance tool, and they end up with nothing but a satellite, which is a scam all around. This is a scam report. It's not worth looking at. Maybe another time, because the UFO has metadata. August 6, 2014, Wednesday. It's 10:03 p.m. This is probably the actual time. So now it's 10:03. So now we may know the time, but MUFON has it all over. 0806, that's August 6, 2014. 22 is 10. 23 is 11. 24 is midnight. So 22:02. So it's not 10:02, it's 10:03. However they have this. This is an MP4. 9.3 megabyte. We're going to get the time right next time. Hold on. Anyway, I took this to LG, Life is Good. I think they're located down in Alabama. They looked at it for several weeks, and they thought maybe I had done a time zone change, which accounts for it being off exactly 1 hour. And they don't look any deeper than that. So there's some kind of a scam going on. There's no time change affecting your phone like that. It's when was this video? There's no time change. This is Pedrolia. Can you see anything here? Is this maybe right, left, right here? You see anything here at all? This is on board the alien craft at a certain location when the UFO is under filter, and this is zoomed in. There's another filter image, some here and here. Something here maybe. Petroleum. Who knows? matrix, neo. See, like a neon green. Looks like a matrix. This is the UFO. This is focused on near the center of the UFO. So this is an area maybe 10 feet by 10 feet when you zoom in on the UFO. So this is a portion of the UFO. This is probably 50 feet by 25 feet as you're backing away from the UFO. And it has these kind of, you really can't see them very well, but there's a lot of detail. These go way back in here like windows on a building. There's a bright dot out of all of it. I like how this appears a little. So there's the cross. More of the cross. There's the alien. Flames in the background. Just like flames of paper. Alien. Here's the bird. Now you can kind of think maybe you can marvel at this, but you can kind of think, what does it kind of maybe appear to be? Like IH might be initials. Cross. Alien. Let's go ahead and skip through some more of these pictures. Well-defined interior of the cross and showing consistency. Like it's like, nope, I have to make another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, I have to make another 4 over here. Oh, before I leave, I got to make 4 of them here. You know, there's 4 of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 16. 4 and 4, 16. And this thing's kind of some kind of sacred geometry or intelligent design from beyond. So here's the UFO under filter. The alien would be up here. The cross is down here, apparently, I would say. So when you zoom in, you can totally see that there is this red dot by itself, and this is the red dot with the streak. So you know the cross is down here because it's in this configuration. And so there you would see the configuration, that bright red. Here's the red dot with the blue streak. And right here would be the cross. This is blue, and this little center of red is the cross. So here's some white, and this may be a product of the filtering process, but we'll check it out. And there's the cross. So you zoom in, and you can see this cross starts to form. You zoom in again, and this is the actual cross in there. Probably a piece of debris size of a coffee table or something. There's the cross merging as it is in the dead center. There's a little cross of 3 feet by 6 feet, I'd say. It's a pretty good sized particle of, I guess like ash or something. Some kind of ash bit. So 2015, 8 months or so after I had the video, I created this screenshot of the video. This is the alien right here. So this is a filter, and you can see here's the main flame that is always there. Here's the alien. I call it the anomaly. I call this the anomaly in 2015. But by 2 years later and focusing in on it, you get the bird. So here's another image of the UFO having the alien in his little window way. You can see You can see the flame and the fuel supply here, I guess. Alien again stands out. You can see him holding the tablet. He's pretty dark in this golden UFO filter. Even this isn't as dark, these other areas. It's like this is very well defined. There's something there. It's the alien, it's the bird. Yeah. There's more filters to look at of this, where you have the alien standing right here. Focus in, and he's there. And it's from there that I get the images. So every time you see the alien popping up in the photo, you know he's strong, and you know he's there. You see the flame falling. This is not falling from a mercury light. You have to convince yourself. So even as the UFO trails off, it has this weird configuration. Who knows what the supply is? But it's probably some material that we have to learn about. Flame, bright red, bright yellow. It's a flame falling in the air current wrapping around it. Gravity's pulling it down, teardrop shape. Teardrop shaped flame falling. Not a security light, mercury light, street lamp. So let's go ahead and look at more images of the alien emerging. So here's the alien staying in his doorway, and here's the bird. He seems to be like in a cage, maybe. Yeah. Have you ever seen this before? Maybe parakeet pages. Parakeet cages have this kind of food or something, and it kind of looks in that weird shape, so it's kind of strange. It's dropping flames off it. You see these little bits like electronic flames or something. The doorway is the aliens. Here's the whole doorway that ends up being like, well, eventually his face, his image. Like he is the UFO. The UFO is the alien. Bird standing. I tend to think this might be the feet. I mean, if you look at a bird's feet, it's kind of like this. A little toe section off, a little toe section here, and the leg goes down to it. Just kind of strange placement. However, a whole bird sits there. So that's good. So the UFO's alien here under filter. You see. There's something strange here and there. As you can see, the whole alien's still there with the eye, the dark of his right eye, his nose, top of his head. You go down, the bird is in the cage, it appears like he's in an electric cage or something. But that's a little bit of the filtering process, I would say. So let's see. We go ahead and look at more images of the bird and the alien. Here's more images of the alien. Kind of like pointillism. It's kind of like pointillism where you can accept it, where many dots go to make the image and many dots construct to make the image. It's crosshatch and pointillism. You can accept that as kind of breaking the photo out in reality. It counts as a way to perceive it. So it looks kind of electrical, like it's charged by electricity, like he's in the doorway of electric. You see the bird here, you see his beak, his eye, his head, and here's his main body. Here's the tablet the alien holds. Alien's head, his left shoulder, and the whole doorway kind of blends into the alien, kind of merges in electronic form. Alien stands, he's got his little he's got his wings, he's a flight commander, let's say. Seem to be isolated there. Two little squares, dots in them. So I'm saying that this is corrugated steel siding built by the general. I hope it's built by the general. And these lines right here are all uniform. But with the UFO, when you look in, you can see that it's choppy, it's shady, it's sometimes thicker than not. This is a UFO. There's no building under it. This is like a star, and this will be a star, and this will be a star. But if you look in here, you're not going to see a star right here. You're not going to see the stars here. You're not going to see the constellations. MUFON would expect you to do that. But see, they're running a scam. You cannot see stars around this Mercury light, and you can see stars around the UFO all the way. But see, to them, it's one. They run a scam. They're like Neo, something about the one in the Matrix. They run the scam, but their number one is like a 1984 number two. So you got to watch out because they run a scam. So this says Ken St. John. Excuse me. This is going to be a good one. This is Ken St. John, Chief Operating Officer at MUFON International, September 4th, 2020. He's of the MUFON Brigade. He says, Mike, because of the urgency of your request, we placed a priority on the analysis and are pleased to provide you with our findings. So per your request on September 2020, we have analyzed the video clip you provided as a file named August 6, 2014 at 10:02 p.m. The report dated for 2020 was received and attached. Well, what a bunch of garbage. Get to it because you have nothing, right? I have the something. They have the nothing to go. So here begins their nothing. They're taking a while. Make it look like they have something. It's a scam. You're supposed to believe they have a pithy report or a full report, and it's full of a lot of scam work. From our conversation yesterday, I feel confident that the finding is not what you were hoping for. However, as with all our data analysis, the results are unbiased by presumption and stand as stated in the report. Regards, Ken St. John, MUFON International. They run a scam. So he basically says there's no enhancement. And this is a still frame at the 16th second. This is figure one of this, where here's the UFO, no enhancement, and up here you can't even see the jet because there's no enhancement. So you zoom in, no enhancement, and that's a UFO, live and real as it would be. It's a beige beam and it's a white light, and it's all different and altogether different from what you would say is a street light. There's no street light in America. If you could go get a picture of a street light, it wouldn't look like a UFO. The best way is a Mercury light on the side of a building, but then you're using a building. We're not contending a Mercury light. We're contending a UFO. So, figure three, finally, the 17th second, first recorded flash of light. Well, that's because it's a FAA light on a jet and it's blinking finally. First recorded flash of light above the street lamp. Well, he's so arrogant, he calls us a street lamp. See, he calls us a street lamp before it's ready. So first recorded flashlight above the street lamp. Okay, so he just runs a scam. And then he goes and says, oh, I see this little light up there. I know what you're up to. And he runs a scam. So basically, I had sent him the message with the embedded video saying the UFO is on the right side of the video. Security, Mercury light, lower left, UFO right, Mercury light left. And what do? Well, they get it pretty bad. So here I just explain where to see things. But he just comes over the top. This is some garbage analysis where he says, oh, it's blinking at 17 and 1703. Look at that. It's timed every so look at it. It's spaced out. These are the blinking flashes of the FAA light. Oh, you get it. Yeah, but where's a UFO on video? Oh, he doesn't have it. Why? Scam. So we have reviewed the file for the MP4 and bobbity boobity. He says running this 23-second normally does not show anything unusual in the video. So he has a 23-second video that doesn't show anything. See, these are scammers that would throw away a UFO video with a bird. And these are people that are in charge of our videos and telling us we have something or not. We go tell our coworkers and they tell us we're crazy. You got MUFON running this backyard scam. However, upon enhancing this video using a 4-level curve, which I'm telling you, they have pride already, which reveals 4 distinct luminance. He says luminance levels hidden within the image. We did find something. Oh, well, it looks like Inspector Morse has showed up with Sherlock or something here. Beginning at the 17-second mark, there is a flash of light above the street lamp. Well, there he is calling it a street lamp again. They have no right. These are cons. This light appears to be blinking on and off at a rate of every 0.100 second. Well, these are scammers. Look at the work they do. When they get out of college and they do this garbage. This is a scam. The duration of the flash is approximately 0.033 second. Flashes are recorded on the following frames. So this appears to be an aircraft running light or anti-collision light. We have included 3 images in this report to validate our findings. See below. So they're making you even look below after all the pride that they have. And then they also say that they have this validation to their findings. How come I'm going to Arro if they're so valid? These are scammers. I'll go to Arro to get validated, you cons. So here it goes. Mr. Brown, you asked for my professional opinion in regards to your materials. I've looked at your video and photos. I've concluded, in my opinion, that the UFO and the Mercury light are, in fact, one and the same. And so, bobbity boobity, Doug Wilson and the scam. So here I sent the images, and this is explained to Doug where things are. I'm here. So this is me. You can totally see me smoking a cigarette. That's what they think. And they think this is a jet that I placed up there to fool people. Like, here's my jet. Come on, look at this video. You're a scammer now. So MUFON's like, we're not buying it. We're not scammers, and we're not dipping to your level. Mister, you're a hoaxer. And here they're going, oh, look at this. We zoom in. All we do is we just, classlessly zoom in with no class at all. And we can totally see that you have inserted this photo, and we're making arrows to show all these lines where you place this photo, superimpose. Yeah, of course I did, to explain where everything was. I told you. I even cut the corner off on the jet. That's cut off. I mean, it's in a blue sky. These are crazy people. So it says the UFO has been added in, as can be seen by the edge the arrows indicate. Well, my arrow is going to be a report. It's going to indicate more in your scam. You see, I'm not interested in anything like this. So even if the security light is on the side of a building, it's still going to kind of look UFO-like. You see, but here's the black of space, and then here's the building, and here's the black of space, and here's the building. Here's space, but here's a building. Now the light doesn't cast an image up onto space, but there is a little jetting out of light. It's imbuing light. That's all. But if you have a building, it will make the image. So if you put more building on top, you would probably get the image on top as well, scattering. But MUFON isn't going to be clever. This is barbed wire. So you can see the corrugated steel siding. These are spaced like, I don't know, like a foot apart, we'll say. So here's the top of the building. It runs pretty much level from the west to the east, almost in a straight line across. So this is a Jan Harzan report. It's a scam. the Jan Harzan report, he's calling it a street light. See there, street light, and then he goes ahead and goes street lamp. So he has street light and street lamp. He can't decide which, but in his story, he calls it both. It's not really worth watching what this report turns out to do because it's all a scam. He was caught with another person trying to get kids online he was out of like Huntington Beach, California area around 2020. So I gave him this 2019 report, and by about a year later, he had messed it all up, and he was chasing children online. That's what they do basically, is they're trying to win the children over, and it's all about having this UFO like a toy, and to kind of lure kids around them, with their data, and their prestige, and the promise of ET and that. They run scams. So I really can't read his report because it's a scam report, but maybe another time we'll go over it just to point out that he's literally the leader of the ignorant force, the ignorant team at MUFON. So when he calls it a street light and street lamp, he can't decide. And D'Antonio will call it a street light, and some of these other actors at MUFON will call it a street lamp. It's just a scam. This was me telling D'Antonio to check out the video. Mark D'Antonio, the video analysis guy. He's like, "Oh, great, I'm checking it out. I got the video," but he didn't get to it. He scammed it. And here he tells me he found it in a spam folder, which is probably where it belongs with that guy. He's a con man. So we go looking ahead. Here's the UFO. It almost seems to be jumping out of the picture like it's a foreground object, and this is all background. It seems to be distant by maybe 50 feet away from the original UFO. I imagine the UFO is also a thickness of maybe 50 feet. I don't know if it's a flying box, but it might be like a flying diamond that's, maybe slender in its way, where if it's the size of like a big gymnasium or something, that's pretty good size for traveling, especially if they find a planet that is habitable and they're able to deboard and stretch their legs. So looking at the UFO laser, you can see spaces in between the laser. It's that close. 1, 2, 3, the laser goes. 1, 2, 3. And you can see the laser begin. There's a start to the laser. It actually begins. Now, some people think, well, this was all created, Photoshop. Well, the idea to have the laser start here is by the alien. This is all alien. Even as the laser tapers downward, there's even a dot, for Pete's sake. Let me check this out. That might be real. I think the picture ends below it. It is, and this wraps around it. So literally, the UFO's laser ends with a dot, and it may continue below as more flame and ash and fire and laser. Slight red dot here and here. These are probably intensities. You can even see dots in the center of this line. That's how clear it is. UFO laser. So here's a laser busted up. So when you focus in, you can see that the laser kind of fractures like I was pointing out. And it tapers down to nothing. And this is like actual laser bits falling, like gamma ray laser particles or something. This is what happens at the terminus of a laser from beyond Pluto because the aliens built it. You'll get these things. This is the stuff you get. These are the things of the UFO. So the UFO, again, it seems to be trailing off debris. It seems to be losing its integral flight characteristics or so, or its aerodynamic ability seems to be crumbling and disappearing in ash. I don't know if it's our atmosphere, but they seem to be all right with it. So the UFO seems to be blasting fire. Here's another photo where the Here's another photo of the UFO on video where it just ends abruptly and picks up again. And there's like this blue background. You can see it goes way deep back in there. Sure looks better on a phone or as a file photo rather than through this secondary webcam. But this is all the UFO as a start. We're just getting our beginnings. You can literally see that this piece of debris has broken away from the main laser and is trailing. So there's obviously like gravity is dragging this thing to fall apart like wet bread. And this is the UFO's laser. So you look other photos, you know, different filters will show the alien at different times. You may see them, rather a stern look, so you can anticipate this is the alien's face and not just something contrived. This is the alien using free will to tackle the issue of being on our planet as he was at that time. Tablet of Destinies. I believe that's a true idea, because it's a characteristic of the Anunnaki is to have tablature and tablets, and I'd say why change a good thing that works? This might be the electronic tablet that they are always talking about. Flame falling, and another image of the flame. So you see the laser trailing down, breaks off and assembles and breaks again, and here it even fades, but then it reassembles strong before fading again. And there's like a gumball, and it's falling. Now it has like these like cartoon wisps. You see, it's kind of like you can see the motion of it moving. You see, it's got like a center to a nucleus. It's from a UFO. It's like it fell off the side, and it's dragging down the entrails like a comet. It's like a streaking comet. This is the part of the terminus of the laser coming way down from the UFO. So here's the laser again, and you can see looks like it's a pulverizing tornadic fire. I feel like a whirlpool, kind of like electronic kind of digitized imagery of a laser almost, but this is all under filter. You can see it blasting down. This is not a pole of pine supporting a, let's call it a street light. Excuse me. That was too much. Maybe a street lamp. Okay, so here is the laser. So as the laser goes down, it terminates. Kind of like maybe like an ink pen or something, this ink blotch, where what trails out, more dots. You can see these dots from 1,500 feet away. You know, that's how clear the image is. So take a hit of water here. UFO's laser. Here's the other laser beam. You focus in, and you can see it's kind of like Spider-Man's True Web, isn't it? True Believers, where he has his webbing kind of wraps around his initial webbing or something. It's like some kind of spider web, but I think it's all laser. So there's like a bright red dot right here. You can't quite see it. Okay, so you can see the articulations on this laser where it sort of goes in and wraps around and has these shapes and designs. It's from the Anunnaki, I would say, and a laser probably testing, sensing the ground. Here's the bird, and here's more laser. So you can see way inside the core of the laser. You can see in through it, this background. And I mean, you can see a dot right here on the laser. I mean, how big is that dot? I would say that this dot, this one black dot, either one, I'd say that one black dot, they're like the size of a soda bottle cap. You see how small that is? A soda bottle cap. UFO is so bright that I think that you're able to see a lot of these images. Now, if it wasn't so bright, you'd have to add light, and that's something you can't do. But you can always take away the light. But you need the light to begin with, to work with, to take away, to begin with in the first place. Anyway, so I think because it's so bright, we're able to get all these super images that we ever would need. These are fine details. So if you see a laser out there in your college class that has these 3 lines, that's the type of laser that the aliens said we're going to try to use. And could it be a plasma tractor beam? Could it be a gamma laser beam or something? Who knows, right? But look at this. It seems to be curving up. The laser seems to go and curve. I wonder if this is refraction. To get your laser to curve is going to be something unusual. Maybe aliens can do this. You can see a separation right here. The laser is divided. Twin lasers. Here's the alien as he stands. Here's his body. Tablet. Excuse me, but here's the bird. All of it's valid. And all of it is real. So, as you have a 13-foot tall alien, you're going to have like 200-foot UFO, maybe 250 feet, basically, a footprint of it. And all this kind of piping and conduit and inner workings and stuff. Then you go here and you look at something interesting. This is March 18th of 2017. So in 2017, I took a screenshot of the metadata of my UFO under filter. So this is the UFO, and this is the laser, and this is under filter. When I panned down the phone, it made this streaking image, and here would be the streaking image down here of the mercury light. So you add filter and it changes. But see, this image was stolen and used in Art Prize, which is a Grand Rapids, Michigan art festival where you qualify for tens of thousands of dollars. So the guy that took this image and used it for Art Prize as a like a gateway, a banner to the Art Prize website. I bet he probably got like $200,000 or something. He won it and was given the rights to promote it. And then they kept his image and distorted it and used it year after year, but kept his idea. But this is my idea. I was going to use it for Art Prize. I was going to throw it in Art Prize as a design. And I was working on it, and he got ahead of the game and used my image. So I have documentation of it. So here is my filter of the UFO, and here is the mercury light. So when you pan the phone down, it appears that all the images are streaking upward. And this is the UFO that I used for the Art Prize. You see how it's shaped? It has all these colors. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and look. And by the way, this rectangle, this might be the enter sign, whatever it is. May even say exit above the door so people know. Something like this. I have to check it. So, Art Prize. Art Prize 9 is the event. So there's many art prizes. But I tried to enter my UFO, but they won't take it because I think it looks too much like art prizes. So here's Art Prize 9. This is the art that they made. It was some guy, learned his first and last name, and I never located it. I think he's like over by the Hague or something. He's over in Holland or something. But I'm from Grand Rapids, so this is my Art Prize. Art Prize 9, Shaking Up the Voting Structure from Fox 17. So here you see the white in the center was put there. And there's the blue And here you can see the laser coming down. It's fractured right here. We've all seen that. Here it's up on a sharp angle, and then here it goes on a lesser angle. And then you got your red and your pink, and you can't use any other colors because you're copying Mike Brown's UFO. So it is August of 2017, August 28th of 2017, where I took the photo of this. See, that's the kind of the pink and the white. That's the pink and the white. And so, but I was early, as you know. My UFO is March 2017. But it was before that. That was as far back as I went, but I could go back more and find the original. But I went back that far. So that's mine. And so here's a comparison side by side. Here's my UFO. Here's Art Prize winning the day. See, white center, white center. You got your blue hooky. You got your blue hooky. You got your, well, look at this. Yeah, see that? You got your sharp angle and then your gentle one or whatever. Your gentle angle, your sharp one, right? So then why don't you go here and have gentle and sharp? Okay, so you're going to have your gentle angle and then you're going to have your sharp angle. I mean, it's all there. And then you're going to have your little broken taper. You better make it a point down here because you know what we're doing. Yeah, we're making a point right here too. So here's the point. So see here, you're going to use red. Did you use it? Well, don't forget to use your blue. How about pink? You got to be daring. Well, I got pink all over here, the guy says. So see, this is a stolen image. So if you can kind of block out the UFO down here, you can kind of see we're dealing with a stolen copyright. So here is UFO. Here is its, laser. It's different from the Mercury light. They're going to be different. One is going to look like that, Mercury light, streaking, and one is going to look all like this, which MUFON says is one and the same, as they run a scam, as they run a giant, huge scam on people. So Art Prize changed it. Here's Art Prize 9. Art Prize changed it. So this is the Calder, which is a design in Grand Rapids. This is sideways. They turned it sideways. This is an image of the Calder, like silhouetted. But see, they're still using pink and red and the whole swirl, and the big white in the center is the pride point, the point of pride. So you could kind of see that this is their next phase of creativity, is to copy the UFO and to distort it into a piece of city art and add the colors like everything's clever, but it's stolen. And see here, you can see here's the Calder. It would look like a giant piece of artwork like that. Well, see, all they did is they took it when it is like, well, it's sideways. This image here was now tipped sideways, so it's oriented like the Calder. And of course, all it is taking the UFO, which I have originally, to get all this, all that stuff, I'll call it. It's a scam. So I had two images. Again, these are the UFOs, and these are the Mercury lights. These are, filters. So there's another filter of the UFO that was stolen. So there's the three dots that I talked about earlier. I'll include them in this video now. You can literally see a dot dead center on all of these, and a little image of a trace of it's moving or something. And then you can see there's another dot below it, and it kind of contains the same characteristics. However, I believe that this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think these are all in line. So to get three objects right there spaced out just any old way that you place them out there, it's going to take some mechanical doing. It's going to take some measurement and some know-how. You just can't land there by chance, I don't think. So there's something of intelligent design involved with that UFO. This would just be white below it where the cross is. This could be product of filtering, or maybe the UFO. I have to figure it out, because usually the UFO is white right here. So there's that configuration of light down there. I'd expect the rest to be black, but at times it changes. We'll figure that out. So here's a UFO. What do you see right there? Okay, so see, you look at this. It's like a secret UFO. And here's a golden UFO. You can see the laser is leaving right here. And there's the bird and the alien as they stand in the doorway. So let's go ahead and wrap this up by skipping ahead and looking at some quick images here. Here's the flame falling and the lasers down here. Let's try to look at the UFO as maybe a portal, maybe a portal traveler, as we'll try to get to that. So here, this may look like the UFO traveling in front of a setting sun or something, but this is just a filter of it. There's a UFO again where you zoom in, and there's the alien standing right there, that black dot. It's from 2015, I'd say. More of the laser dropping straight down. You can see all this detail. You see it jig-jogging around. The flame falling. This is some kind of fuel source, it looks like. There seems to be bold lines of fuel sourcing here. UFO, multicolored. What does this one look like here? Could this be out of DC or something? I call that a special UFO there, as it looks like that. That's the UFO diamond. Here's the laser. And the alien would be like right here. That's that little area. Zoom in. There's a lot of light shooting around this to catch up. This might look like it's entering a portal, but this is a vintage, I would say a filter work, and it just looks kind of fancy, like it might be entering a portal, but this may be ripping a time space continuum hole that it can travel through. And so there you see it. It just looks kind of like it's of the portal a little bit as he travels through. UFO laser pulverizing down. Looks like more of maybe kind of like an entering a portal. You can see the laser. So that should kind of conclude this show for now, as there are more images to get to, but we'll get to those in the next show. We'll get to these at another time. So right now, as I conclude, I'll show you that these images here are real. This is the real UFO. You can see it twisting almost. This is being checked out by Arro, the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office out of the Pentagon. They have a serial number attached to my UFO. You can see the lasers breaking up and reassembling, falling in flames. It's really good to see this on a phone up close rather than imperfectly like it is over the webcam. Falling debris, kind of looks kind of starlit. All these are bright pieces of something floating down from the UFO. So that will have to conclude it. So this is the real UFO. I would say join this UFO show Saturdays and Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up if you have to. This one is the UFO that is real. And it is leaving Arro as a project. And we are going to soon be seeing what they see. They are going to not see a street light. They are not going to see a street lamp. They are going to see the bird and the cross and the alien and the real UFO. So, thank you for watching Real UFO.